What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming back to Miss Fish Show. I am your host, Miss Phins. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do me a favor if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Love it, guys. Thank you so much for coming through. OMG, ladies and gentlemen. We got a fun one for us today. Oh man, I know there's a bunch of stuff happening, but you know what? I like to get these juicy stuff in here because I've been hearing some stuff as far as the Dolphins and you know what the media is saying. So I figure why not? Give me a second to get canned up, guys. I just need to uh, finish one thing here, and then I'll be able to get all pretty for y'all. But hit that like button on your way in, guys. Hit the like button on your way in. Let everybody else know we are live. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through again. This is Miss Phins, and welcome to the Miss Phins Show. Oh, man. I'm back. Been around the world. So, we will be talking today, guys, at 7 p.m. We're going to be discussing, actually, first take a couple weeks ago. They talked about the Miami Dolphins. Are the Miami Dolphins true Super Bowl contenders? Are the Dolphins contenders? I want to hear from you guys. I want to see what you guys have to say. I'm going to break it down what they said too, because I thought it was pretty unique and pretty awesome. Hey, there you guys are. Welcome. And if you haven't done so already, guys, join the family, become a member, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. This off season right now, we're going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern. So thank you so much for coming through. Absolutely love it. As always, keep in mind, please keep it PG because kids do watch the show. Okay. And like I always say, we win together. We lose together. Dolphins for life. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, what does the media say about the Dolphins? So, this was about the Miami Dolphins first date. Shout out to the guys, Nick Wright and Broussard and the other dude. I can never remember his name. But yeah, so they were talking about the Dolphins as far as the AFC East. And are the Dolphins a legitimate Super Bowl contender? And I was thinking, I'm like, are we a legitimate Super Bowl contender? Let me say before we get in there, hi to you guys. Good morning, Superfish. Welcome. What's up, Insanity? Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. Cat for Life. Let's go. Emojis. One of our awesome members, Cat for Life. Another awesome member, Michelle. Michelle, what's up? Steve, welcome. Good morning. Freaking Panthers better win tonight. God, if I talk about them, it'll be later. Good Friday morning, Miss Phins. Hope you and your family are well and good. Let's smash that like button. Let's support Miss Phins. Thank you so much, Superfish. Jeremiah. Thank you. Yes, if you're our key guys to healthy. Oh. Contenders or pretenders. I can't wait. Another awesome fan. Adam S. Welcome so much, buddy. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Media is trying to their hardest is to control this team. The true fans are fighting back. Every team is a contender before the season starts. Great point, Michelle. I can't deny it. Every team, I guess, really is a contender before the season starts. I guess we have to see how much of a contender are the Dolphins, and that's pretty much what we were talking about. I thought it was very interesting what they ended up saying. A couple things they said that I was like, sure, are you not? Did you not get that memo? You're not supposed to say that? But it's okay. We still gonna talk about it. So let's go. What's up, Brian? How you doing, sir? Welcome, guys. Fins up. Good morning to you, buddy. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, again, we're gonna talk about that first take. Are the Dolphins contenders? Because I thought that was a um, very good episode. So essentially, Nick Wright and the boys are talking about if the Miami Dolphins are they truly a contender. Obviously, they're pointing out how Waddle just signed that big 3-year contract, 84.75 million extension. They talk about how what Nick Wright thinks Tua is, or at least where he ranks, which I thought was like. But it is what it is. One thing that I will tell you this, they did mention every team is getting better with the way that Miami was last year. If you take a look at the numbers, I mean, you cannot deny what was happening in season where the Dolphins really had some major injuries at the end of the season, and you're talking about like a large portion of the team that literally didn't play due to injuries. Now, you know me, I don't like to make excuses, so I'm not about that life. But they did point out, obviously, that Xavier Howard didn't play, Javon Holland didn't play, Connor Williams didn't play, Isaiah Wynn didn't play, Chubb, Phillips, Baker, ABG. So, and these are like starters, except Wynn backup. But everybody else is pretty much a starter, and they definitely went ahead and they mentioned what do you call it? Um, those players that we missed. It is a fact we were missing those players. So I'm not gonna deny that. I just don't use it as an excuse. Every team deals with injuries at the end of the season. But they did wanted to go ahead and make that a point that the Miami Dolphins were dealing with that at the end of the season, and that's one of the things that was very interesting. Now, another thing that Nick Wright said, he said himself that for him, Tua is more of a middle of the road quarterback. He doesn't really trust in Tua. Tua right now, when it came to it was just night and day, and you cannot deny the numbers. When it came to the teams that made the playoffs versus the teams that didn't make the playoffs, it was night and day in how we were doing. And the same thing too, he pointed out on the defense as well, which I found very interesting. So before I get into Tua, he mentioned how the defense, what the, he mentioned how the defense, they were trying to implement Vic Fangio. Maybe perhaps Vic Fangio lost his touch in talking to new age players like the ones that we have today. Nick Wright did mention that does happen, which I thought was very interesting. But for the most part, he mentioned that if you take a look at the defense isn't completely out of um like they're still at fault, just as much. Well, I don't know about just as much, but definitely the defense has some part in the collapse of the Dolphins this last season. Apparently, in when it came to the teams that were not contenders, we were averaging 23 points a game versus those teams and allowing points against us. And then when it came to playoff teams, we were allowing 32 points. So you definitely night and day when it came to the defense. You can't win when you're giving up over 30 points, especially when your so-called high intensity offense is supposed to be scoring more than 30 and they don't versus playoff teams. So excuse me. Hey, good morning, Shake Money. How you doing, buddy? How are you doing? So I thought that was very interesting. So he did blame the defense too, and gave them their part as far as the collapse of the Dolphins. I'm like, okay, fair to me. That was fair. One thing that I personally much better. What was happening? One thing I personally thought was the Dolphins perhaps um or just a little too outmatched, period. Now, Nick Wright did mention that he thought Tua was more like middle of the road quarterback, like 15th in the league, 15th, 16th in the league. Um, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, going against teams that are not playoff teams, Tua went 10-1. He was averaging practically 9 yards per pass, had a passer rating of 110.7. His touchdown to interception ratio was 22 to 8. It was actually pretty good. And he was averaging over 290 yards per game against the teams that did not make the playoffs. So, quote unquote, bad teams, right? But versus the teams that did make the playoffs, we went 1-6. And the team we beat was the Cowboys, who some could argue literally is the Dolphins in the NFC. So, hey, what's up, Cruz? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Aquavision, welcome. Good morning. Hooked Up Joe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, yeah. Play calling was part of the issue, too. Yeah, I know. What's his name? McDaniel was taking too long to get the plays out. And that's never a good thing either. You know what I mean? So, overall, I thought it was very interesting. But even Tua versus the playoff teams, he only averaged just above 225 yards per game. His touchdown to interception was 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. His passer rating was only 80.8. He went 1 for 6 in those 7 games. Guess what? If it's 7 games and he only scored 8 touchdowns, that means he averaged 1.1 touchdowns per game. Versus the playoff teams. Excuse me. Versus the playoff teams. So, yeah. Nick Wright also brings up the numbers when weather is 45 or less. 0-6 with 8 interceptions. Oh, God for life. See? Yeah. So more so more touchdowns and interceptions. Yes. On both scenarios, more touchdowns and interceptions, but you're averaging 1 touchdown per game versus the playoff teams. And then you're talking about, what is it, 3 touchdowns versus the none? That's horrible. 3 versus 1? That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. 1 touchdown for a good team. You're never gonna get past anybody in the first round if you make the playoffs. So that's some of the things that people might not be considering. Again, that's why the question was posted: are the Dolphins considered true contenders this year? And given that information, I thought it was very interesting. Absolutely, very, very interesting. And yes, shout out to Shake Money. He had an awesome show last night with over there at Fanatic Fury with Larry K. Go check it out. I don't know who he had. I know he was interviewing a superstar. From what I heard. So just go ahead and check it out. Last night's In the Blender show, I heard it was a good one. So yeah, um, definitely go check out that show. I heard it was good. You know, I had no idea who he interviewed last night. So yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, do you agree? Do you agree of what he was saying? Do you agree that the Dolphins are not? Because that is what Steve Wright and the boys, except the other dude, not Bouchard, not Wright, the third dude. He was saying, I do think they're contenders. I think the Dolphins are contenders. I think the Dolphins have the right team. They have the right head coach. I think Tua is getting in his own, and he's got the right team around him to get wins. And I'm like, I mean, that's not wrong. You know what I mean? So I dropped the link real quick. I only have, and I'm timing this. I only have about 10 minutes I can spend with you guys. If you want to agree or disagree, I'm taking live calls, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and click that StreamYard link real quick and come up here. Um, because I thought it was very interesting what they were saying here, and I can't blame them. You know, I can't blame Nick Wright for thinking that, or Brouchard, because the way I see it is Dolphins have a lot to prove. And the Dolphins lost to great teams. You know what I mean? Like 1.1 touchdown versus playoff team in his career. So does Jalen Hurts and Trevor Lawrence. You're right, but you know two things that Jalen Hurts and Trevor Lawrence have done that Tua hasn't done: win playoff games, and one of them, if I'm not mistaken, got to the Super Bowl. Just saying, just saying. Morning, vamos gatos. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, guys, I have to lather real quick. So, if you think they're true contenders, if you think Miami is a true contender, yeah. The true question should be, can the Dolphins compete with the top teams in the league? At the end of the day, that's really what matters. If you can compete with the top team in the league, then you give yourself a chance. Hi.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Oh,
Is my mic okay before we get into this? Is my mic okay?
half year caller, our first caller of the day.
I will say this, right? I understand that right now a lot of things are being put on Tua Tagovailoa. But in order
Mm-hmm.
to be a true contender, you have to have a complete team. The offense and the defense both have to be excellent, right? When you think about the teams that were in the playoffs last year, right? Texans had a good defense, Ravens had a good defense. The
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, their defense came on late, right? Even the
Mm-hmm.
Browns had a top defense, right? So that's why when it comes down to it, it does kind of circle back to QB play if you don't want to, count what Aaron Jones absolutely did against the Cowboys, coupled with the amazing play of Jordan Love. Not going to take away what he did because he was out there throwing
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns, right? But you have to have the better team on the field because it's a game of margins and executions, and you have to be able to execute better than the other team. And I think what we saw last year for the Miami Dolphins, when our offense was not executing for whatever reasons that it was, whatever reasons you want to put on the game in Kansas City. That was the difference. And do I think the Dolphins are true contenders? I think the Dolphins have what it takes to win.
To win what?
To win.
I mean, we know they can win games. That's
I think they
clear.
have
They've
what it
been
takes to
doing that.
win, but when you think about
But
it, right? There's
can
that
they
aspect.
win
There's that aspect of learning how to win a game,
meaningful
how to
games?
win the close games, how to win those tough games, right? A lot of people discount, you know, the Cowboys game, but we saw a lot of telling things in that game, right? Our offense, right, was not as effective as we would have wanted it against, right? But that Dallas Cowboys team was known for their defense. So the fact that we did have to, manage the game a little bit more and settle for field goals, but 5 field goals, hey, at the end of the day, it gets it done. You had to get into field goal range. You had to execute on that last drive. Those are the things that you want to see more consistently. The one thing we do know about Patrick Mahomes is that, okay, if you give him that ball, he will find a way to get it done. What we need from Tua and from our offense collectively is that we have to find that. We have to figure out that part of our offense. And once we can, when we are in these tighter games against the top teams, that's what it's going to come down to. But I do think that the Dolphins 100% can be Super Bowl contenders. You just have to figure out the little minute things, the things that we don't think about. The fourth quarter, right? The December, you have to can't beat this enough, execute. And it's will against will. And your will has to be stronger than the other team's will. And that's what it is. You got to be healthy and you got to be able to execute. And as long as we have those two things, I think we are true Super Bowl contenders. We'll see what Anthony Weaver brings to the table defensive wise. I'm very excited for that. I know you got to talk to him. I know you were very excited about the conversation that you had with him. But at the end of the day, Mike McDaniel, when it comes to the play calling and to Tua and the whole offense, when it comes down to the execution, can we trust you in a fourth quarter not to make the mistake to get the points that you need? It cannot be like Tennessee where you're given a 2 touchdown lead. You're given the ball on their side of the field and you go up and we're like we done sweated out the whole game and we're like high-fiving and we're like, man, there's no way that this can go wrong. And then it's deja vu from Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos from years before. So
Who had the
that's
ball
the
last?
that's why I said execution. But they still gave it up. They didn't execute. Having to
But who
punt.
had the ball last? With 2 minutes 37 seconds left,
Did
if
I
I'm
not
not
say
mistaken.
execution? Did I not say execution?
You
With
did, but I'm
with
what I'm
with
saying is because
did I not say
again, we want
execution?
to put a lot of it on the defense. They do get
I didn't
blame.
put
I'm
it on.
not saying.
I didn't put it on the defense. I said our offense can't have a 2 touchdown lead and give it away. That's not 100% on the defense. The defense did what they had to do. I said they gave us the ball back so that we could go up in that. You as an offense have to execute and secure that 14-point lead. I don't care if it's 30 seconds left. You have to know what we
Yeah,
can go to get that first
because
down, to keep
all we
that
needed
ball
was
in your
that
hands.
one first down.
Right. And they
That
did
was
not
it.
execute. And that's why I
They
said it
didn't.
comes down to execution. I fully put that game on a lot of things. We can dissect the
We
millions
can
of reasons,
again because we've done this.
right? But at the end of the day, for me, Super Bowl contenders know how to execute. They know
Eh,
they know how to get it done. And I don't think we've done that yet, but I think hopefully prayerfully going into year 3, there will be some semblance of that, and there will be. You know what, Dre? See, this is stuff I be talking about. I mean, it was, but that's what it comes down to. We have to be a team whose will can't be shaked, whose execution, whose play calling. Like, hey, we need 3 yards for a first down, and it's second down. You better give me those freaking 3 yards within 2 downs. It is
You
what it
have
is.
to.
You have to, but we've seen where like it can't be BS penalties. It can't be like a nonsense false start. These little integral things. Super Bowl contender teams do not make
You mean
these
it takes
mistakes.
no talent to not
Please
get
stop.
a?
Please stop. Don't do this.
No,
You're
I'm
not
not gonna
shaking the
stop.
bush today.
You mean to tell
Didn't you say
me
10 minutes? Has
no
it been 10
talent?
minutes? Has it?
It hasn't been 10 minutes. I ain't
Where's the
even three
timer?
minutes.
Leave it. Miss Phins,
It
leave it
takes
alone.
no talent
Leave it
to not
alone.
get a full start or
Leave it alone. Leave it
a.
alone.
You know what? I'm not even gonna. You're
Leave
right.
it.
You're right.
Leave it alone.
Absolutely unforced errors. That's
Yes.
what I'm calling it. Those unforced errors. And if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, that's a baseball reference. Um, Unforced errors, literally things that we can control and we didn't. And does that take into account the fact that, um, there is a lack of discipline, in my opinion? I think that's one of the major reasons why those little, which you just pointed out, those little things that we need to do to take care of so we can execute. When you lack discipline because everybody wants to be happy go lucky, again, this is my opinion, happy go lucky. The way you practice is the way you play. Talk to every single player that's ever played the game. They will all tell you the way you practice is the way you play the game. And this happy go lucky thing that we have in Miami is super awesome. Everybody loves each other, kumbaya, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, those little tiny things stacked up is what cost you games, especially at the end of the game and at the end of the season. It was all discipline, in my opinion. To the military. Oh, Kefalev, you're funny. But that, yeah, it's also, oh, that's right, Michelle. It is also a tennis reference. Thank you. That's right. It's frustrating. And to me, when they post that question, are the Dolphins truly a Super Bowl contender?
Talent wise, yes. Execution wise, it has to be seen. It has to be done. It has to be
I
put
can't
out
even
there.
argue with you. I think you probably laid it out perfectly. Talent wise, on paper, this is a top three roster. Some would argue it's even higher than that. On paper, this is a top three in both offense and defense. And the fact that we were even able to pick up some of the pieces, which I am stunned. And I gotta give it up to Greer. This offseason, he did something that I didn't see him do. He didn't get, I mean, he got some shiny pieces, but he did end up getting pieces that I thought would mesh well with um will mesh well, but would also, we don't have a huge drop off with the players we lost versus the players we brought in. And to me, that's probably what I like the most. But guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, guys. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button so that way more people, more folks can know we are live right now. Thank you so much. I've got High in the building, one of the callers this morning. Um,
Change my name. I definitely. You know what? We're not gonna do this. Can I ask you a question? Like
oh,
to your point.
Insanity 5. There it is.
Can
Ah,
I ask you
ladies and
one quick
gentlemen,
question? Like
we
based
got
off of what
Insanity
you
5 in
just.
the building.
Oh my God. Can I ask you one question based off of what you just said?
Go ahead.
Okay. So offensively and defensively, right? You said that Greer found some pieces. Which pieces? I know you're going to training camp, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Which pieces will you have your eyes on the most? Not that you think it's going to be the most productive during the season, but you want to see what they bring during training camp, specifically training camp.
I think that's a great question, and I mean, more than anything else, I think I gotta hit up the defense first. Right off the back, I need to see what Calais Campbell is doing with Sealer. That's gonna be one of the top players I'm gonna be looking at. I want to see what Calais Campbell is going to. How is he gonna mesh well with Sealer? Because we all know that Sealer works really well when he plays off his opposite person. In our case before was Wilkins.
Absolutely.
Having that to me I want to see that chemistry there, because if Calais Campbell's, he might not be 100%. He will never be 100% age wise and whatever. But to me, talent is there. So if we can get maybe 80% of what we have at least from what we got with Christian Wilkins or more, in that relationship with Sealer, then I think that I'm not as worried about that D line as I was prior to us getting Calais Campbell. Another player I want to take a look at as well, again in the defense, is his backup, Sean Hand. I want to see, is our depth really gonna be able to be productive like a depth should be? Before, we've had depth that you're like, oh Christ, what are we doing? And it's been a little bit tough trying to see whether or not they're going to be effective, or at least 80% of what you can get from your starters. So for me, Deshaun Hand definitely is the other person I'm taking a look at, as far as this training camp season goes. Another person I think that I want to see is, is he complete fall off, or is he going to actually show us, get his second win, and that would be Jordan Poyer. Obviously, he's going to be starting opposite of Javon Howland. So for me, is Poyer gonna be taking a step back, or is one of these rookies really gonna essentially challenge him for that starting role? I still think Poyer's gonna be the one starting opposite of Holland, but is he, I want to see, does he still got enough in the tank left? Are we going to see a resurgence of that, playoff Poyer, if you will? Because I think that's going to be very important for us. And that would be the defense for me for the most part. That's what I want to see. And this last one, because I think this one pissed me off so much that I better see some results out of this one, and that's going to be Chop Robinson. I'm telling you right now,
Oh
I'm going to snap so
gosh.
hard
That's great.
if Chop Robinson doesn't pan out, because to me, we could have gotten an edge in the second round and we would have been fine, and I would have been okay with getting a real D lineman, a tackle, or even an offensive tackle, which is what I wanted. Jerzan was there; we could have had him. So for me, you took that first round pick that we haven't had in 2 years, and you picked an edge, which I understand both of our top edges went down last season due to injury. However, you could have picked an edge in the second round and still would have been manageable, versus, I don't know, a starting left tackle to, I don't know, maybe assist our 4 game left tackle Teron Armstead. So I don't know, but that's just me. You know
Didn't
what I mean?
didn't Jerzan have to have like a surgery right after the draft? Like, wasn't he a little bit more injured than what we first believed? But we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into, we don't, because he's not on our team.
He
But
wasn't
I
the
but
only one. I'm just using him as an example.
okay, I got
There
you.
was still, and I can't even remember his name. There were 2 tackles that were still available that were highly ranked tackles. It could have been Jazan or not, but I would have picked a tackle over or or even the inside lineman in Graham. He would have been. Anyway, we're not
You
going
want
to
you you,
rehash this.
you want to, well, first of all,
No.
we have a beautiful super chat in the, what's the name?
Oh, we got a super chat.
We have
Oh,
a
I'm
beautiful
sorry.
super chat
I
in
got
the
different thingy.
yes.
Hey, we got a super chat. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you, buddy. Superfish with that $10 donation. Y'all know why our defense went all the way in 1972, winning Super Bowl 7 and 8 with 17 and 0, 15 and 2? Question mark. Because we lost so badly in Super Bowl 6. This year's Dolphins have some of that mentality. They were practicing early, Dolphins. Okay. You know what? I love that you bring this point because Super Bowl 6, a lot of people forget the Miami Dolphins were the first team in NFL history to win 3 AFC championships or conference championships and go to back-to-back Super Bowls. And you are right. We lost so badly in Super Bowl 6 that absolutely fueled Super Bowl 7, where we went perfect, in Super Bowl 8. And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for a couple of plays, in my opinion, Miami Dolphins would have actually been in the Super Bowl again in Super Bowl 9. But we're neither here nor there. So yeah. Thank you so much, Superfish, with that $10 donation, man. Really, really, really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Miss Phins, if it's any other future Hall of Famers of Miami Dolphins YouTube, oh my gosh, that's definitely Finsanity for sure. That's
Definitely you. Definitely
so
you.
now
You have
that's
hours logged,
definitely the
more
quadruple
highlights.
OG. What'd you say?
I said you have more hours logged, more highlights, more
Uh,
videos, more
stop.
more shorts.
Not stop. Anywho,
Okay, offense. But
offense.
wait,
Okay, so
hold up, wait. Can I just say my one player? Because I went through
yeah, go
because
ahead.
Jordan Brooks, right? Come on, we need our linebackers, right? We're in a division with a lot of running backs, right? So I love that you focused on the D line 100%,
Mm-hmm.
but their support, right? Jordan Brooks, he was added to our roster. We let go of Jerome, him paired up with David Long Jr. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very excited to see his instincts within the gap because I know he has outside speed, but
Okay.
sometimes, it's a game of inches. So look out for Jordan Brooks for me. That's all. I want an update.
That inside linebacker. Ooh. That's gonna be interesting, and I agree with you. Being paired with David Long Jr. is gonna be fun to see how he goes. I mean, he technically took Jerome Baker's spot. So if we're gonna see, I want to see if he's able to keep up the productivity when it comes to tackles, because as many people continue to forget, Jerome Baker literally led the team in tackles for 3 years straight. But we're just gonna move past that one, but it
Offense.
is what
Oh
it
Lord.
is.
Offense.
Uh,
Don't do this, Vince. Don't do it. Oh, yo.
okay. Sorry, we're having too much fun over here. Okay, so in offense, who am I looking into? Hmm, who am I gonna watch at training camp? Okay, first and foremost, I am hawk-eyed to Skylar Thompson. I want to see what my Mike Mike Moore is going to be doing. To me, he will be quarterback number 2. And I need to see the development in my quarterback. I think that he is going to be utilized this season as far as when we're blowing out teams. So we need a quarterback to come in. Skylar's going to be there for us. So I'm very excited
What?
to see his productivity and his progression coming into year, 3 now.
What?
So very excited about him.
Miss
Um,
Miss Fitz, hold up, pause. You're not going.
what?
Did Did you say? Hold up, there's an echo. I think. Did you say Skylar Thompson?
Yeah. What did, I wasn't done. I got more people.
Listen, I can't be mad because it's training camp, and I said preface of training camp. But
But did you not?
I almost called you by your name. Like, stop. Hey,
Don't.
I'm talking about the name before,
I
not the
know.
actual Miss Finn. Miss Finn, you did not
No.
just say the development. Okay, you know what?
Yes, I
Listen,
did.
it's your honest take. I'm not going to, if that's what you want to look at training camp.
Of course, I told you he's my Matt Moore of the future. I need him for the next 10 years to be my backup quarterback. What's wrong with it? And I said I only want to see him when we're blowing out teams and Tua sitting down. Like,
Backup quarterbacks are replaceable, but go ahead.
you know what? They are replaceable, but when you got a good one and you got him for a good price and you know that he can be consistent, win you some games and help out your starting QB, yeah, I want somebody like that. I want stability in that position. It helps. So there you go. let me go back to Michael before I was rudely interrupted. Okay. Besides Mr. Thompson, thank you very much. Um, the other player I would say that I really want to see is, and the reason why I want to see this particular position is I want to see how Mike McDaniel utilizes this position because it's been one of the most frustrating positions to see in this team. Are we going to utilize our tight end Jonnu Smith? Are we gonna line him up in the slot? Is he actually going to be blocking at the end of the line? Are we going to bring him up into the middle? What are we doing with Jonnu Smith? Because I've been so frustrated the last 3 years I've had the misuse of the tight end position. He said he was going to come here to fix the running back game. Last year, we saw the running back game be implemented a little bit more. Now he's claiming he's going to be doing that with the tight end position. We brought Jonnu Smith and his experience. To me, he's got great hands. He's a great blocker. He should be able to shade off and still be able to get behind behind the D line and still be able to get some good catches, some quick catches, and run through players so that we can go ahead and get some yak. But for me, I need to see what Jonnu Smith and what Mike McDaniel is implementing for him specifically in that position. Because to me, I've been so frustrated in the tight end, the severe anemic usage of the tight end position. And you guys know how much I love tight ends. So that is definitely I would probably I'm gonna leave it at that because that to me. Oh, and Aaron Brewer. You know, I need to see his consistency with Tua. But I feel like that's kind of a given. That's why I didn't really mention it. But him and Tua, I want to see, the hands off. I OBJ's OBJ. I'm not worried about him. We got a million wide receivers, and it's not even an important position. Tight end Jonnu Smith. I need to see what Mike McDaniel's doing with that position. And Aaron Brewer. I want to see his handoffs with and his snaps with Tua. Those two things will be offense for me.
I'm gonna give that take a B minus. If you know, you know. I was watching. You got 2 out of 3. I agree with 2 out of the 3, like 100%. The person I was going to go with was Jonnu, so you hit mine right on the nail, 100%, perfectly, eloquently spoken about why. Got it. Point made. Absolutely.
Thank
2 out of 3. I'm gonna give you a B minus. If you know, you know.
You know what? I'm sorry.
No.
Who are you besides Jonnu?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
What's
would
up?
you? Who
What's
would
up?
you go ahead and take and look
Without
at
okay.
the
You said
offense?
oh, listen, just honestly, just out of pure curiosity, if we want to go back to the trenches, right? What is their usage of Patrick Paul, right? Like
Oh,
let's call a spade a spade. Like uh, I mean, do I think that he is going to be
that's a good
a
question.
starter? We'll see. We'll see. I can't call it. I don't think right now he has a spot on the line, right? Right now, like just being
Well, he's
honest.
technically listed behind Tehran,
Right,
so
right.
he's
So
his backup.
seeing that he is going to be our left tackle of the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much is he soaking up? How much work is he getting in? How many reps is he getting in? Obviously, it's going to be Tehran's show until further notice. You also got
No, Tehran, he doesn't practice, so
I know,
it's
I
gonna be
know, I
Patrick
know,
in
but
training.
but it's still Tehran's show, right? How much is he soaking
True.
in and stuff? And we know Kendall Lamb is, this is his last year, last hoorah and all that, so we can't bank on that. So
Mm-hmm.
just how well is he acclimating to the physicality of the practices in the NFL, right? You never truly know until you go up against another team and it's them trying to take your head off versus you trying to stop them from
That
doing
is
that,
true.
right? But what does the
Mm-hmm.
footwork look like? The technique, is he 3 or 2 technique? Like what is he doing? Like what are they developing in him, right? Like so if you want to talk about a developmental player or a development that I want to be strongly invested in outside of I guess the backup quarterback, um I would have to say it's our future, hopefully our future starting left tackle, Patrick Paul.
Patrick.
That's my other one. Yes, that's yeah. We'll
I can
see.
see that. That's actually a good. I mean, if we're being honest, he'll play about 8 games
You
because
think?
Teron's gonna be injured
Oh God.
at least
You think
6.
you? So hold up, wait. You think that they go to Paul before they go back to Lamb?
If they want to use him as a future, they already know what they have in Lamb. It
What
would
I'm
only make sense to put in. It would only make sense. You already
It
know
would
what you
make
have in your
sense. It
backup.
would make sense to
It
put
would
in the
only make
better
sense.
player. If Paul is better than Lamb, then sure. But Lamb was serviceable last year, was he
Lamb
not?
was extremely serviceable. I'm
Right.
not
So how?
taking
So
that away.
unless
You already know what you have in Lamb, but you need
right.
to
So
let the
why? So
rookie
why?
get in there.
So unless Paul goes out here and blows it out the water, right? If Tehran goes down, I'm sorry, you got like I don't know
And
when Brewer.
it
I don't know if
depends on
Brewer's
the
gonna be ready for
scenario of
the.
the game. It
Here's
depends
a
on the
question, right?
scenario of the game.
Will Brewer be the starting center week 1, right? Because if then you have Liam Eichenberg on the other guard, you got Wynn, you got Jackson, you got
Well,
Tehran.
yeah, Liam will be
After
left guard.
right, so outside of that, how do like unless and listen, I might be getting a little bit too emotional about this because I believe in the
You think?
protection of my quarterback.
Me too.
I
Which is
understand.
why I wanted that left tackle.
I understand getting the young guy in for experience. I do not push back on that, but it's not like
And
we
she's
out here.
pushing back on that.
It's not as if we are out here playing for peanuts. We're playing to contend. The next best option has to be out there now. If that is Paul, then I'm for it. But from what I saw last year from Lamb, okay, we'll see. That's why I said like his development throughout training camp. Like, where is Paul in the grand scheme of taking over the reins of becoming the next starting left tackle for the Miami Dolphins? That's all. I'm just saying we have other options. We don't have to necessarily just throw the because I mean
No,
we gotta
if
get some
you're
more
really
strength.
serious
I want
about
some
this,
more strength and
if you're serious,
conditioning.
again, it depends on where we are. If it's game 2 of the season and what's his name goes down, I understand bringing in Land and initially, but I want to see what my rookie has. So I'm putting in my rookie. Or
You're
at least
okay.
I'm going to be switching between Lamb and Paul. Like it's
That's a
just
big risk.
it is a big risk. It's game 2 of this. Well, not forget it. Not
We
game
got a
2.
whole season to get.
God, Lord,
Put a
please,
poll
not
up. Like
game
I
2.
want to know how everybody else feels.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
would you rather see Paul? And you know, the crazy thing about it is, it's sad that we're already preparing for Tehran missing games. I want to have this quiet hope and optimism that Tehran will be available for 13. Is 13 asking for too much?
Um, the man didn't even make 12 last season.
I
What
know,
makes you
but
think 13? He barely did 11.
I know that's why I said give me 2 more. I'm just saying, like optimistically, like hope, prayers is 13 too much to ask.
Nope, I think optimistically speaking, 11 it's already the max. If you're lucky,
If
I
we're
think
lucky.
at minimum we'll get 6.
Wow, that
I'm
wow. So
I'm just
that
saying, yo, you don't gotta like it. I'm just saying.
I don't gotta man.
And
I
plus,
don't like it.
eh,
I don't
uh,
like it. It's not that you don't have to like it. Like who goes into the season saying I want my
hold up,
left
hold
tackle
up,
to
hold up,
hopefully
hold up.
get to 11 games? Like
I mean, the Miami Dolphins, because this is what Chris Greer brought to the table. He brought an injured left tackle who, yes, when available, literally is the best tackle in the league. But guess what? When he's more often than not available. And yeah, I get it. Patrick Paul, round 2, pick 55 out of Houston. Yay. If this is your second pick in the draft, you better play this man. We invested too much in him getting at such a high position. So no, I'm not gonna not use my rookie freaking tackle. That is exactly what he was brought in here for. If you made it within the first 2 rounds, you are a starter, in my opinion. So you better giddy up and you better make sure you ready because you playing, boy. That's all I'm saying. This is ridiculous. I don't even know how you don't see that. Like they have to play. They gotta play. Like no, it's gotta play. Absolutely have to play. Like I don't see how he doesn't play. I don't see how he doesn't come in. Like Lamb is your third option in my opinion. Lamb should be like, dang it, Teron is out. Patrick Paul, he might not be hitting it on that. Okay, let's give him a break, a couple reps, and let's get Lamb in there to give the young stud a break. Like, you know.
We should do a stream on this. We
The what?
really should. We should do a stream on this, just like a stream solely.
Solely on left tackle position?
No, the whole offensive line. But but highlighting because did we not just say execution?
Yeah, we
Did,
did.
did we did we preach execution for the first 5 minutes that I was on here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I
It's
said,
true.
if Paul shows that he is ready and that he is better, not just based off of he's the second round pick and we got to see what he has out there, but he shows true understanding of the verbiage, because when we're checking out of things, if that communication don't click, someone is getting hit in the backfield, right? If we switch the way that the play is ran and it don't click and he don't get it, execution, sorry, 5 yard loss. I don't know what to do with that.
Good morning, CB.
Thank you,
Welcome.
CB. Somebody,
Lamb unless
let's
Paul is
go.
capable. Lamb has done it. Good morning, Miss Phins. Happy Friday chat. First of all, you know what? You know
Listen,
what?
I get what you're
In
saying. I think,
Butchberry, I trust Finsanity.
listen,
Okay? In
both
Butchberry, I trust.
there to me, right? It's about preference, right? My whole thing is that the fact that, hey, to CB's point, right? We've seen Lamb
Mm-hmm.
do it. And two, we are playing for something bigger than just, hey, let's go out there and see what happens.
Are you sure?
Right? Yes.
I
I
know. I just really wanted to ask.
yes. We are playing for something bigger than that. So we can't live on like what it like he better, like, that's why I said I want to see where he is at. Well, I want you to see. I know you have a lot to, do, but see how they are utilizing him. See where he is, right? One-on-one reps against Mo and Chop. I don't think we'll see him be able to go up against what's the name, but all of the what's the
Mm-hmm.
name, all his one-on-ones. How quick are his feet? How strong are his hands? How good is his foundational base? There are so many integral things that, because
I
believe
get it.
me,
Is he
when
gonna be pushed off the line? I
when he has
understand
Nick
what you mean.
when he has Nick Bosa lining up against him,
It's
if
Nick
push come to
Bosa.
shove, right?
Like,
We don't have rooms to see. Well, let's just see what the second round pick got.
but
Like
you know what? You iron
listen,
sharpens
he could
iron.
be phenomenal. He could be
Throw him in there.
phenomenal.
Throw him
He
in the
could
lion's
listen.
den.
There's nothing more any Dolphin fan want, well, other than the Super Bowl, right? But we all want all of our players to be successful, and we would love Patrick Paul to be 100% a bona fide next guy up. He's going to be a superstar. He's going to make Pro Bowls. He's going to be one of the top left tackles in the league.
Mm-hmm.
We want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do not disagree with that. And yes, eventually there will have to be a trial by fire, right? Well, let's
Very
not get
much.
him. Let's not get him as ready. Like, let's get him as ready as possible for that trial. If he can
Mm.
get more reps and
Well,
just
he's gonna have to get
understanding.
those reps now in training camp, and that's what I'm gonna be looking at.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, that's no problem at all. I just still think I just put in a second round pick for you. Yeah, you playing. You're
Yeah,
playing.
you playing. That's the new thing. Yeah, you playing.
You're
Put
playing.
put
Yes.
put
And
put
look,
that in
I
the
feel I've
chat.
had a great question, ladies, because capitalized. I have a question that people are afraid to answer. So if Connor does not come back, are you okay with paying 74? Do you mean Monsieur Le Mackenberg? So because that's who 74 is. Am I okay with paying Eichenberg? Why wouldn't I be? He's my young and he's my future left guard. Of course, I'm paying Eichenberg. He's developing. Look at what Austin Jackson did. Given with time and development, look at how he's doing. In Butchberry, I trust. I think that Liam Eichenberg has actually progressed every single year. Little things here and there. So yeah, I'm willing to pay Liam Eichenberg to be my left guard moving forward and to be my future.
Do you have time? Because more people are asking for the link. I think a lot of people are very passionate about this.
Oh, snap,
And
yo.
to Cruz's point, yes, the O line is a unit, 100%. But if a guy can
Okay.
keep getting outside on your left tackle,
This
now
is
we're
I
now
gotta
we're
time it
now we're
because I actually have a
utilizing now
huge
we're
meeting.
utilizing a running back to help help out with that, instead of the running back being able to go out maybe for a route or something. There's so many intricate things, but I believe, like I said, it's about preference. It's about what you want, right? It's trial by fire. Eventually he's going to have to go in there and prove it. Uh, it
Okay.
is.
I'm gonna I'm gonna drop the link real quick and have you guys come in here. But I literally only got 15 minutes and I gotta time it because I have a huge meeting coming up.
It
So
went from 10 to 15. Are we going after this? Are we going to get 20?
no, because I literally have a huge meeting and I can't
I'm
like
messing with you.
drink oh jeez.
Don't worry.
Don't forget, he's a three-time orange jersey recipient. Exactly. He's talking about Liam Eichenberg, the Eichster. Okay. Thank you so much, Shake, for that $5 donation. So I dropped the link. Let's get her done, guys. We got 15 minutes and not a minute more. But I see that you guys are very passionate, and I feel like Miss Phins, in association with Insanity, has just dropped the topic of the day. Watch this be the conversation moving forward throughout the day. So I can't wait to hear that. What's up, Christy Dolphin? Talk to
Hey,
us, sir.
hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
sir.
Everybody else
Yes,
get in
sir.
here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring all of you guys up. So
Okay, just want to say good
CP
morning to
Ashford,
all.
Lewis, everybody, go ahead and come up here, guys.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Um, now I just wanted to say that. Wait a minute, hold on one sec. Like I said, if we look at what Bushberry did last season, which was pretty good, he we had injuries on the old line, and he brought guys off the street and what have you, and with the younger ones, he helped develop them. Just like Cruz mentioned, it's not just the individuals. We're looking at a whole team and the way he's putting these guys together and having them work. So I'm excited as far as O line go, because this is his second season, and hopefully he's going to, as an offensive line coach, he's going to get better, and hopefully he can develop these younger players, help, and then with guys like Teron, these guys can also mentor and help coach the younger guys up, and any other offensive lineman we bring in on our roster. So we gotta give them some kudos and give them a little time to develop some of these guys. And another thing is that one thing I noticed with offensive lines throughout the NFL is that there's no such thing as a complete offensive line with every player being a Pro Bowler or superstar. Some teams have made it to championships and the Super Bowl with a patched up old line. So um, what I'm saying is that let's see what Bushberry can do this season coming up.
I like that, and I agree. I mean, in Butchberry, I trust. I think you and I have been like super Butchberry fans, Mr. Polk, and I keep saying it. And I'm gonna continue to say it. I trust Butchberry in that O line, which is why I don't mind whoever we bring for the O line. I believe in him to be able to maximize and get the best out of that player and get the chemistry within that line to work effectively with Tua, and that's what I'm loving about Butchberry. So to me, I told you guys he's my MVP of last year. But we have an Eichenberg is in the building. Thank you, Mr. Polk. Appreciate it. Eichenberg is in the building. Talk to us, Mr. We have
What's
or
going on?
Mrs.
How y'all doing? We do have an Eichenberg.
Hi, Shake.
What's up,
Shake?
How you
Shay?
doing? What's going on? Another beautiful day in the moon. How y'all doing?
We're great,
Awesome.
man. Thank you so much for that file donation. Talk to us, sir. What do you got on this? Erg.
Like you said, he improved every year. So listen, here's what trips me out. The same people that say, well, you know what, the front office believes in Tua, and there's nothing you can do about it. Guess what? The front office believes in Eichenberg. There's nothing you can do
Thank
about
you.
it. So there.
Thank you. And that goes out to a certain somebody that I will not say their name, but you know who you are.
Batman.
And if
Batman
the shoe fits,
24223.
it is what it is.
Batman alone.
Okay. Anywho, shout out to Superfish with that $2 donation. Thank you, Superfish. This unit is as strong as the weakest link. Yes, it is. But with Butch Berry, again, you heard Shake, you heard Mr. Polk. He has progressed. Eichenberg actually has progressed. And you know what? If we're gonna give Austin Jackson the opportunity to develop and Tua the opportunity to develop, then yes, I'm all for letting Liam Eichenberg, who out of either of those two other players has had to play 5 different positions in that line. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a little bit more grace, and I'm gonna give him some time. And I think Butch Berry's gonna be able to really maximize Liam, and you never know what we got. To me, he can be probably the future. And then guess what that means? That means the 2020 draft wasn't a complete waste in our first round. And that means that we hit not just on 1, 2, but 3 of our 2020 draft picks. And I'm all for that.
And by the way, real quick, I just want to point out, everybody was talking about how Brian Forrest was negligent because Noah Igbenogany's first game was against Stephon Diggs, right? Well, I also think it was negligent that you have Eichenberg, who never played center again in his life, play his first game against a top 5 D line in the Buffalo Bills.
But people want to forget that.
And did a great job.
People want to forget that. And
No
that's
comment.
the thing, like, exactly. It shouldn't be no comment.
Who else was going to do it? Like, you know what? No comment.
No. Stay no comment. Okay? Because ridiculous. Okay, here we go.
Thank
What's
you.
up, Lewis? Well,
Finally, my brother's up here. Thank you.
go ahead, Lewis. What you
What's
got to
up,
say
Lou?
on this?
Good morning to all. I'm
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
here. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but pop, there goes the bubble. Right? Like at the end of the day, I'm not gonna hear to downplay Liam Eichenberg. He has progressed, he's gotten better every year, right? So hopefully that continues. But can we pump the brakes a little bit on our MVP from last season, Butch Berry? Because the last season was last season. And all I'm saying is we always talk about the people that want to praise whatever player. If it's Eichenberg, fine. If it's Tua, fine. If it's whatever, fine. But what is the big thing that we always say about all those players? Can we see it again? I know I've been fighting a lot of people. About the Houston Texan narrative with CJ Stroud, right? Everybody wants to say they're the young up and coming team. They're next in line. CJ's the next great quarterback. And I've been saying, can we see it again? I'm going to hold Miss Phins, Butch Berry to that same standard. He was great last season, right? I agree with you. MVP for me as well, right? But that doesn't mean Butch Berry has it all figured out and we can just, I'm going to use your words, Miss Finn, in Butch we trust. Well, not for me just yet, right? Like, I got to see it again. I got to see him work that magic again. So I'm not saying he can't do it, Miss Finn. I'm just saying, like, to think that we could just come and plug and play anybody or just stick somebody here because we have Butch Berry, I'm not going to go that far yet, you know? So that's just
And you know
I'm
what?
at.
I think that's a great take. I don't think there's nothing wrong with anything that you just mentioned because you mostly gave me praise, so I appreciate that. And second, I'm messing. But it's true. You know what? You brought up a great point. We have to see consistency in the high level of play, but also consistency in the high level of coaching. That
Mhm.
also goes to the coaches too. So I'm with you. And you know what? I actually hold Mike McDaniel to that same standard. Great that he was able to implement the running game last year a little bit better than it was the year before. Awesome. What are you going to do this year? Are we going to have, the same, if not better, running game productivity or not? You know what I mean? Like, these are the questions that I feel like sometimes we don't look at when it comes to the coaches or put them in those kind of standards as well. So I thought you brought an excellent point. And we got the
Oh, the
man back.
boogeyman, Lose Boogeyman is here.
CB83's in the building.
Look
What
at
is
this
Who?
topic. The
good?
topic has brought out all the
What
MVP,
What's
is?
up,
Hey,
all
Hey,
CB?
good
hey,
all the
morning. Good
legends.
what's going on?
morning.
Holy
Hey,
smokes,
one thing.
everybody's eager.
Before you cook, CB, I want to bring out too that if Butch Berry was such a great coach and could do it no wrong, then he would just get rid of our offensive linemen and just bring in a bunch of offensive linemen for the minimum. It's talent
Yeah,
So,
that
which
wins
yeah,
games.
No,
that's
you
not
still need
possible.
talent. You still need
Yeah,
talent.
yeah, you still
so,
need
but
talent. But real quick,
Exactly.
I like this topic. As soon as I got in, I saw the Lamb versus Patrick Paul debate, and honestly, you got to put Lamb in first because he's done it, right? Unless you see in training camp that Patrick Paul is more than capable and showing you that he can go out there and play well against NFL teams. Now, remember, we had some of these guys saying that Skylar Thompson was that dude based off preseason games, right? So you got to get the NFL reps for me to determine that you're going to be that dude. So
That's a fair point.
it's not just, oh, you doing it in practice. It's like, oh, we got to see it live and in action before we give you that opportunity over a guy like Kendall Lamb, though.
But see, that's my point, which is why I feel like if you are going to see what your young guy has, you have to play him. You will never know
That's
that
true too.
game day ready. You have to play him. You know what you have in your backup line. Why? Because in Lamb, you already know what you have. You could always just pull him and put Lamb in. So you got to give the rookie the chance to actually display those talents on the field in real time game time, so that way you see what you have in him
But
and
But
give
there's a
him a
but
chance
caveat
to
to
Miss
get
that.
Fans,
better.
there's a
There's a
caveat to
Thank
that.
you.
There's a
But I did
caveat.
I
The
did
cat
say though, it depends on the situation of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
If
yeah,
we're about to
definitely.
win the game, forget it, bro. Put Lamb
Yeah.
in.
Now,
It
the Miami
depends on the game. I
Dolphins,
did say that.
the Miami Dolphins are in like a win now mode, right? So we really don't have time to kind of bring guys along. We're focused on winning now. So it's kind of like, hey, if we're gonna put somebody in there, he's gotta have shown that he's capable of playing high level football, right? But I get what you're saying. If you don't get those opportunities, you'll never be able to see, whether or not he's a guy. But
And let's be real, CB. There he will eventually have to start.
oh
It's
yeah, he'll
Teron
get there.
Armstead. The man's probably gonna play between 6 to 8 games, in my opinion, this season.
Over 8.
His body is I'm taking the under.
He
His
said over
body,
a hit.
his body literally is not. It's not his. The man's got the might. He's got the will. It's his body who's giving up on him, and because
Yeah.
of that, you know, we all know Patrick Poe will have to play this season. So for me, is I'd rather give the rookie a chance to try to get those stuff done earlier in the season, so that way when we do need him at the end, we already have Flam, we have our backup, but we'll be able to have not just our backup who will be our starter, but also a backup that could still be able to produce as well. We won't have such a large gap in production, and that's the
Yeah,
way
but
I see it.
that stunts the growth because if you put in Patrick Paul over Lamb, let's say there is an injury, right? And you put in
Mhm.
Patrick Paul, and then you have to pull him out because let's say he's still not ready and he's getting whatever, and then you have to bench him for Lamb. It's a bad look
Yeah.
from the optic standpoint. It's a bad look for the fans, right? Seeing their second round pick already coming out of the game for a benching, and then the confidence of that kid knowing he got his shot first. He wasn't ready. They had to pull him out. I just don't like how that looks. I think I'm with Insanity on that and kind of CB for that matter. I would probably go with Lamb, the proven commodity, because don't stunt this young man's growth. Let him put him in the game when he's actually ready to go in there.
And that's a good point by Lou. And I think even with the Tua situation, right? It comes back to the Tua situation. I think if the Miami Dolphins were in a position to where, hey, Tua could sit the whole season and they didn't need to see him and they didn't need to see whether they had a number one quarterback, I don't think he would have played, right? We had 2 first-round picks the next year, and I think they needed to figure out if they needed to draft another quarterback. So I don't think you play guys until you direly have to. And I don't think we have to play Paul yet. I think we have Lamb. Lamb's going to be gone after this year anyways. He's retiring after this year. Give him the shot to kind of back up Teron Armstead and fill that void. He's done it. He done it at a really good, solid rate, because a lot of I came out and said that Lamb might be just as good as Teron Armstead last year. And people clown me for it. They were like, yo, what are you talking about? Armstead's this, he's that. But when he came in the game, the production kind of evened out. So you gotta give Lamb a shot based on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, to me, Lamb is obviously the backup. Like, come on, he has already played in your team. He's already know the players in the locker room, and he is the shoe-in to be the backup. What I'm saying is that you still got to give that rookie shots
some time.
And the same thing that happened to look at what happened to Kader Kohu. Even though some people say he's probably playing a little stagnant last year, he didn't get that much better or worse. He just kind of stayed the same, but he had to get game ready, and his development improved from year 1 to 2 because he ended up having to play. And to me, that's something that it's very important for every young player that we have, especially somebody that's picked so high. But real quick before we continue, I gotta give a special shout out to Cecile Neal. Thank you so much. With that $20 Cash App donation, man. Thank you. For supporting the channel. I appreciate you, man, so much. Thank you. Shout out to you, Neil, man. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And thank you guys for coming through. It's been a great look at what are we arguing. We're not arguing, man. We're passionately discussing this.
Dre.
We only argue on Twitter.
Yes,
exactly.
We only argue in Dre's spaces. That's where they argue at. They only argue in Dre's spaces.
Miss Phins. You and I, great friendship, right? I just want to put this out there. You know, how important are the trenches?
To me, they're probably second most important to the QB. It's the QB and then trenches, if I have to put it.
So would you? So with them being so important, would you put a project out there or a known commodity, something you know what you're going to get? Would you be so willing to put something that's questionable that you don't even know what the results might be versus? And I think what it goes back to is we are in a luxurious position right now, right? We get to have our future left tackle go and learn behind one of the best to ever do it in this game. Not only do that, to develop, to get stronger, to get quicker, to understand what kind of moves he will be facing, to be able to sit in a room and learn the different tendencies. That's why I said that, hey, listen, we understand that eventually there will be that trial by fire, but you want to have as much readiness, as much preparation into that as possible before you throw him out there. And that's the only thing that I have. I understand you're saying second round pick, hey, and it goes to all our points, right? If he's in training camp and he's showing it and in preseason and it's just looking great and it's looking good, and we're like, whoa, like we weren't expecting this so soon and fast, then go on ahead. But if there is still room to where he can get better, or we can get just more practice reps, where he understands the verbiage, where he understands the playbook completely and truly, because it's really important, right? Second to the quarterback, right? We talk about execution at the beginning, right? That unit has to be able to execute, right? That chemistry does eventually have to be built with him on the outside, right? Give him that time. So to Lewis's point, where it's not about shaking confidence, where we know that his footwork, his technique, all of that are going to be sound, foundational, and we can 100% put that trust in him. Like, you know what? All right, one pass by, this is what you got to do next, right? But not a lot of guys get that opportunity to come in, to sit, to develop. The Dolphins knew that there was some rawness there, and it is for this time, right, to work on that, to make him the player that we expect him to be, being a second round pick.
And I think you made a really good point, Finsanity. And you just said it, Miss Fins. You said the most important position to you is quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Most important position.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to be in a position where you put somebody on the offensive line that gets your quarterback knocked out for the season? And that's
Well,
and I think that's what it comes down to. And I understand that, yeah, you want them to develop and things like that. It's just like, hey, I'm not putting guys out there unless I'm completely confident in their ability to get it done. And one wrong play at that position, one wrong block can mean your quarterback going to the hospital. So you got to be completely confident, and you got to have the utmost confidence in those guys' ability to be able to get it done.
you're not wrong. I mean,
Not
and I feel like people didn't hear this part when I said it's all situational for me.
Yeah.
You know, I still want him to do it, but it's still situational because if this is the end of the
You muted yourself.
this is the end of, if it's the end of a game and we're about to win, I'm not putting in the rookie, I'm putting in Lamb. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So it's all, to me, it's situational. But if we have the opportunity, I want to get him in there as quickly as possible. And this is another thing, and maybe I'm putting a little too much faith in Tua when I say this, but I'm not worried if I am putting Patrick Paul there to see what he's got, because I trust Tua in his pocket awareness to be able to go ahead and still manage that pocket. So I trust Butch Barry to put him in the best position as far as knowing what he needs to know for that line, and I trust Tua to be able to navigate that pocket.
Yeah.
That, you know, maybe there needs to be some adjustment. I trust my quarterback to be able to make those adjustments.
Wait,
You'll
So that,
probably
so
agree
maybe
with
that's
too. There is also a run game aspect to it, right? You can't have
I
guys in the
understand that.
backfield.
absolutely,
Yeah, yeah.
I understand that, but
absolutely.
I have trust in my quarterback to be able to adjust, just like I have trust in my O line coach to be able to go ahead and put him in the best position to be able to be effective. So
Miss
Well, let Miss
Miss
Finn,
Finn.
hold up. Go ahead, Lewis. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to see if I heard Miss Finn's right. Miss Fins, did you say that in a blowout you wouldn't want to see Patrick Paul? You would rather see Kendall Lamb in a blowout? Is that?
no,
No,
the
no, no.
opposite. The
The
opposite.
opposite.
Oh,
Opposite.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because that's
yeah,
That's when you get
that,
reps.
and that's
yeah.
where and absolutely, I just wanted to say real quick, that's where Mike McDaniel, in my opinion, needs to do a better job, because multiple games last year when the Dolphins had the game in hand, right, it just kind of felt like the pat statting a little bit for the Tyreek Hills, for the Tua Tagovailoas, for the everybody else for that matter, right? Like at this point, if you are up, let's say 17 in the fourth quarter, 20 in the fourth quarter. We've seen it against the Commanders, against the Denver Broncos. Why not get Mike White in there? Obviously, Mike White came in the Bronco game, but that's when you see Patrick Paul. We should have seen Cam Smith last year in certain situations like that. I just
Totally
think
agree. Totally agree.
this is where we've seen some of our injuries happen, especially later on.
Chubbs,
It,
especially Chubbs.
Chubb, right? Like in a game, even in a blowout where you're losing in a sense, get some of those guys out, because again, we know what this season is about. I believe we are going to start off the season very strong, in my opinion. We know what this boils down to. It's December football, it's January football coming up for the Miami Dolphins. I'm trying to go into that stretch as healthy as possible, right? So again, if
Yep.
you're in a game where you're leading or you feel like, hey, this game is already in hand, I don't need to see Tua no more, even if that's going to cost Tua maybe some numbers. I don't need to see Waddle and Tyreek, even if it's going to catch them some yards and some catches, right? Like, I don't care about that. As fans, we shouldn't care about that anymore. To your point, get the guys in there that maybe need some extra reps, some of the rookies, maybe some of the guys that still need to be developed. Throw them in there. Let them get that kind of work. Let's save our big guns for late in the season. Because again, for me, that's the approach that I would like to see. The biggest, where we always talk about people's growth and what we want to see next. For me, that's one of the things I need to see from Mike McDaniel. It's managing the game. His play calling, I'm good with, right? Like the offense, I'm good with. But just from a managing the team now, right? Like, know your personnel, know your roles. That's what I want to see the evolution of Mike McDaniel in that. So that's just where I'm at, Miss Fan.
Good point. Good point, Lou.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be all
Sorry, I
about
didn't
numbers.
realize
Because
I
that
was muted. Yeah,
no, it shouldn't be all
I
about
agree.
numbers.
No, I
Just
think that
like
was a great point.
Tyreek wanted to do 2,000 yards last season. It shouldn't be all about numbers. It should be about like I said, winning the games when we need to. Because um, to me, and I could be wrong for saying this, our window, if it's not close, is close. It's close, and we got to do something this season because, like I said, next season we don't, we don't know what's going to happen with the players that we have on contract. So we need to get some things done now, and not be worrying about numbers, all these numbers about getting this many yardage and all that. Trying to reach that so-called peak.
It should be
Because
the
I
team above individual numbers, and I agree with
right,
you on that.
exactly.
Yeah. Miss Fins, I appreciate you having me. I gotta run and get these kids out. Man, I appreciate you. Hey, good seeing you, Lou, Fin Sanity, Mr. Paul, Shake Money, my brothers.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all, my brothers, my
Hey,
sisters, man.
hey,
Yeah.
whoever you are, man, salute to you. I don't know who you are,
Yeah.
but whoever you are, salute
Thank
to you.
you.
You see this?
Hey, and Fin Sanity, I don't know who that EM dude is, but whoever he
That's
is
the
trash.
that's the legend. That's
yeah.
You guys,
that's the icon.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
you
Shout
guys
out
are
to Hooked
too
Up
much.
Joe. Salute, man. Love
No, I
y'all.
appreciate you, CB, for coming up. And yeah, I gotta sit down. Like I said, I got that meeting to go to now, actually, in literally
Oh,
a couple
okay.
minutes. But I appreciate everybody coming through. Just give me a real quick, Mr. Paul. Give me your final thoughts, because I want to be able to go ahead and get you guys in here. What's your final thought, Mr. Paul?
Okay. Let me say this real quick. Even though I mentioned Bush Berry, doesn't mean that he is the coach. What I'm saying, this is his second year, and I want to see him take it to the next level. And whatever. So it doesn't mean that whoever he puts in is going to be a Pro Bowl offensive lineman. I just want to see him take it to the next level. And thanks for having me on the show. And it was good to being up here with you for Insanity, Lewis, my brother Lewis, and Shake Money, and also the Miami Dolphins chat room. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a blessed day.
All right, Mr. Paul.
Appreciate you, Mr. Paul. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you for coming.
Talk to me, Lou. What do you got on this? What's your final take, sir?
Hey, I ain't got nothing on it, Miss Fans. Just appreciate the invite, like always. Dropping the link. Insanity. We'll see each other later in these spaces. I'm sure. Shake. I think Shake's going live tonight with the drive time, so
Yes, yeah, yes,
definitely
yes,
catch
sir.
that on TNTG. And hey, man, fins up, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Fins up. Great.
and I
Thank
know,
you for coming.
I know. Lewis is looking forward to Sharif coming on later.
Oh no, I gotta stay away from the panel shows, man. I gotta stay away from guys like Fred and Speed, and I
I
gotta stay
might
Oh
away
do
from
it.
those
Lord.
I
guys.
might do it, depending on a couple of things. I might do it. It's
Oh
been a
God.
while.
Hey, listen. All I know is that it's always entertainment. That's all I can say. It's always entertainment. So definitely check it out. But Lewis, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yes,
see you.
ma'am.
I'll catch you later. Hey, Mr. Eichenberg, talk to me. What do you got on this? What's your final thought, sir?
Not much, man. I appreciate everybody on the panel, and yeah, man. I'll see y'all later. Like I said, in the spaces, hopefully they somebody starts the space. So, and again,
I'm
once
sure
again,
somebody
I
is.
appreciate you for coming in the blender. And as always, Cincinnati, I always appreciate your support and love, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely, always.
You have a good weekend.
Absolutely, Shake. Guys, if you don't already know, Shake had me on the blender, or in the blender, at the channel Fanatic Fury with Larry K. Go check it out. That episode was awesome, a lot of fun. I had a great time doing it live last night. So go ahead and check it out. Give your thumbs up and subscribe to Larry K, because he's providing a great platform for great content creators like Shake Money to be able to express themselves and things like that. So I appreciate you, Shake. Thank you so much for having me. Finsanity, ma'am. Talk to
Let's
me.
go. Yeah, I had so much fun. This was like it's like riding a bike with us, right? Just
I
hit
know.
the
It's
link and just go with it. Nah,
exactly.
thank
It's great.
thank you for taking the time out. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I see the results from the poll. I guess you got to post them.
Oh, let
Um,
me post it real quick.
just real
Hold
quick,
on.
yeah, we got to get this all out. We got to get you to your meeting. You
Okay.
know.
Yeah. Thanks.
Everyone, thank you for showing up. Make sure you like, support. Thank you all for voting. I appreciate it. I know Miss Phins truly
Oh,
appreciates
I
it.
definitely do too. Yeah. So it looks like who would you take? Who would you like to replace Duran in the season? 62% of you guys said Patrick Paul. 37% said Kendall Lamb. Holy smokes, that's a big difference. That's what 2-1 almost.
Yeah,
So
blowout.
hey, the people have spoken.
Go,
They know what they
thank
want.
you.
Yeah, it got me
Yeah,
off guard, you know.
yeah. Oh my god. Listen, thank you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. I will be coming back probably like what in a month or starting the Olympic show. Like a month, right? I mean, what?
Just
Okay, my bad.
thank you.
So everyone have a great, wonderful weekend. I know we're still on contract watch. If something happens, you know Miss Phins will report it for
Of
you.
course,
Other than
absolutely.
that, be safe, be great. You're loved, you're important, and I'm out of here. Deuces.
Peace. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. And guys, again, this is Miss Phins. I am Miss Phins. I appreciate all you guys that came here. Glad I got to watch the whole show this time. Hey, I'm glad you were here too, Michelle. Thanks for coming through. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan, my deep condolences to you and your family on your loss. R.I.P. Lacey, your family dog. I know the feeling. It happened to me earlier this year, so definitely. I wish you guys nothing but healing, love, and peace to you and your family, Ryan. And for everybody out there, guys, listen, this was a great show. Thank you so much for coming through. Shout out to Superfish, Shake Money, to Neil. Thank you so much, guys, for your kind donations and showing your love to the show, because it really helps out the channel to continue to move forward. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for your donations. And guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Let everybody else know, because this is going to continue to get better, and we're going to continue to have even more fun in this show. So thank you again so much. Again, you can catch Miss Phins live this off season, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern. Become a member. You're going to have lots of fun here. I promise you. Great discussions all the time. And you know what? Training camp is coming soon, so I can't wait. But guys, before I go, tonight, the Florida Marlins better be clinching this flipping Stanley Cup. Okay? You see this? The Florida Marlins, my lord. The Florida Panthers need to clinch. They need to clinch. My Panthers need to clinch. I can't take it no more. I'm not waiting 30 more years for this team to flip and win. So my Panthers need to hurry up. Where is it? I need Chucky. I need Kachuk. Okay? Shout out to Mom. Hey, mommy, say hi. There you go. That's mother right there. I need Kachuk to make this happen for us, okay? So shout out to Chucky. Let's go, Chucky. Let's go, Panthers. I need you guys to go ahead and win the Stanley Cup tonight. Vamos, Gatos. Absolutely. Let's go. Let's get this parade in 954, baby. Broward County needs this parade. Hey, thanks, Insanity. She says hi. She's my friend. Yeah. I don't know if you can see her or not. You gotta get closer. Down. Get down. No, get down. There you go. There you go. Yes, that's Mama Phins right there. So, guys, vamos gatos. Let's go ahead and win the Stanley Cup. I want to cry. I don't care. I'm not waiting till we come back home. I do not want to come back home to play Game 7. I just want to win. Let's win in Canada and in Canada, and let's make it happen. Y'all have the same smile. I know. I know we do. Thanks. But guys, definitely let's make it happen. And also too, if you're a fan of the WNBA, which I am again now this season, shout out to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Go, they play tonight too. The Panthers play tonight in Canada at 8 p.m. You can watch that on ABC and ESPN. And you could also watch the Indiana Fever play, I think, the Dream, Atlanta Dream, if I'm not mistaken. I think they play Atlanta Dream today. Let's see, games. Yes, I'm right. 7:30 on Ion Television. So check it out tonight, 7:30 Ion Television, guys. So hopefully both of my teams win today because, yes, I'm a Caitlin Clark fan or whatever. It is what it is. Love you guys. Take care. It's Miss Phins. I am Miss Phins. Everybody on Twitter and Twitch, thank you so much for coming through. Guys, do me a favor. If you haven't joined already, come join the YouTube channel. We're growing the channel, and we're trying to get even more subscribers. Let's get to 2,000 before the season starts. Thank you so much, guys. Mwah! I will catch you guys later. And man, I'm loving all this. Thank you, man. You guys are the best. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.